Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting a new series of lessons which will be dedicated to the articles of the English language. In this series we'll discuss what articles there are in English, in which situations each of them is used, and what ideas they can convey. We'll also look at some typical mistakes that English learners make, especially the speakers of those languages in which the concepts of definiteness and indefiniteness are not present. My aim here is to create a set of very detailed lessons for you to be able to get the answers to all of your questions regarding articles. Although many English learners struggle with tenses and conditional sentences, many linguists consider the topic of the articles in English to be one of the most complicated. I'm not an exception here because I think this is one of the most challenging topics in English. Because if there are no articles in your native language, it might be very difficult for you to grasp the concept of definiteness and indefiniteness. For instance, such languages as Hindi, Punjabi, Mongolian, Russian, Polish, Ukrainian, they do not have these concepts. Latin doesn't have definite and indefinite articles too. The languages that I mentioned, they don't have articles, but they have different ways of expressing this definiteness and indefiniteness. For example, the word order or the use of demonstrative pronouns. In case of English, definiteness and indefiniteness are expressed with the help of articles. And believe me, native speakers of English cannot imagine how others can express any ideas at all without the or a before the nouns that they use. In this lesson today, we'll discuss some basic ideas concerning the articles in English. And we'll start with the definition. What is an article? In different sources, you may read that an article is a type of adjective or a type of determiner, and these definitions are not incorrect because in different periods of history, articles were viewed as different parts of speech. I suggest that we stick to the idea that the article is a word that is used to define or to specify a noun. It is a structural part of speech, or as we also say, a functional word, which means it has no lexical meaning and is devoid of denotative function. Articles can be seen as identificators of nouns. As they are functional parts of speech, they are never used by themselves. They always precede nouns. And as they are tightly connected to nouns, before we proceed, it is important to discuss what types of nouns we have in English and to divide them into categories. So nouns can be divided into common nouns and proper nouns. Common nouns, in their turn, can be divided into countable and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns can be concrete and can be abstract. Countable concrete nouns are, for instance, table, tram, house. Countable abstract nouns are such words as idea, decision, and so on and so forth. Uncountable nouns can also be divided into concrete and abstract. Uncountable concrete nouns are such nouns as water, grain, beer, and uncountable abstract nouns are, for instance, time and wisdom. All common nouns can be used in specific or general meaning. To show in which of these two meanings a noun is used, we need articles. Thus, we have finally come to the question, what articles are there in English? There are three articles in English: the definite article the indefinite article a and its version n, and the so-called zero article. Whenever we use a common noun in its definite, concrete meaning, we need the definite article the. While to simply nominate an object, that is, to use it in its general meaning, we use either the indefinite article a or n, or the zero article. This is the first rule that we have to memorize. Once again, the identifies a noun as a definite one, a or n shows that a noun is indefinite and is used in its general meaning, and a purposeful omission, which in grammar is called the zero article, also identifies a noun as indefinite, not a specific one or not a concrete one. Now we are coming to the next rule or set of rules, which will help us understand additional peculiarities of these articles and their use. The indefinite article a or an can be used only with singular countable nouns. The zero article is used with all other nouns to show the general nominated meaning. The definite article the can be used with any types of nouns as long as they are identified as definite or concrete. For instance, I can say a dogs, but I can say the dogs we saw yesterday. Or simply dogs if I speak about all dogs in general. I normally cannot say a freedom or a loneliness, but I can say the freedom I was given, the loneliness that I was experiencing, and so on. As well as freedom means responsibility, and loneliness can be harmful to one's physical health. In these last two examples, the nouns freedom and loneliness are used in their general sense, whereas in the first two cases we speak about particular freedom and particular loneliness that the speaker experienced in a definite moment of time, which enables us to use the definite article the. As you see, the use of article depends not only on whether the noun it is used with is definite or indefinite, but also on the nature of the noun itself. With same types of nouns, the indefinite article a is possible. With others, of which we'll speak later, only the zero article can be used. This way, to define what article you need, you have to do the following check. You have to ask yourself, is the noun I am dealing with singular and countable? If the answer is yes, you should ask yourself, is it definite? If it is definite, we use the. If it is not definite, we use a or an. This is the first step. And the second step, you should ask yourself, is the noun you're dealing with plural or uncountable? If the answer is yes, we should ask ourselves again, is it definite? If it is definite, we use the. If it is not definite, we use the zero article. That is, we purposefully omit any articles. Let's see how this works using examples. Michael has a car. The noun car is singular and countable. Therefore, it has to have an article. As your interlocutor does not know which car you are referring to, this is a completely new piece of information to them, we use the indefinite article a. Another example, the car that Michael has bought is in a very good condition. Car is again a singular countable noun, therefore it has to have an article. In this case, though, we know what car the speaker is referring to. The car that Michael has bought. So it takes the definite article the. This subordinate clause, that Michael has bought, makes the noun car definite. Be careful with those clauses that follow your nouns, though, because there are defining and non-defining clauses, and we'll speak about them later when we discuss the definite article the. Now let's proceed to another example. Alice likes cars. What do we have here? Cars is a plural noun. Here we speak about cars in general. She likes all cars, not a specific car. So the noun car takes here what we call the zero article. I like the cars exhibited here. Cars is a plural noun. It is used in a definite sense. We know which cars the speaker is talking about, the cars that are exhibited here, the cars we see now at the exhibition. So we need the definite article of that. The cars. My little cousin doesn't like to drink water. Water is an uncountable abstract noun. Here it is used in its general sense. My little cousin doesn't like to drink any water at all. Therefore, here we opt for the zero article. The water in the pond is stagnant. Water is an uncountable abstract noun, but here it is not used in its general sense. It's clear what water we are talking about, the water in that pond. That's why the definite article the is used. I have never been to Washington. Washington is a proper noun. Surely we all know what Washington is and what Washington we are talking about, but as it is a proper noun, it is a city name, the zero article is used. Now finally look at this sentence. The Washington of 1980s was beautiful. Again, as we have just said, Washington is a proper noun. Why do we then use the before Washington in this sentence? Here, the proper noun Washington receives the because the speaker wants to stress a particular period of time of the city's existence. The speaker is not speaking about Washington in general. He or she is speaking about a particular Washington, about that particular Washington of 1980s that he or she saw. In such situations, proper nouns can take the definite article the. We'll speak about the with proper nouns in a separate video. Another rule that we need to remember is this: a single countable noun must have an article if there is no other numeral, determiner, or possessive. Other words may be used instead of articles. They may take the place before a noun where an article otherwise would be. These words are numerals, determiners, and pronouns of various types. If one of these is used, an article is no longer needed. Consider these examples. I want to buy a hat. I want to buy the hat I tried on yesterday. I want to buy that hat. I want to buy your hat. I want to buy one hat. I want to buy 11 hats. I don't want to buy any hat. I want a clock. As you see in these examples, something else takes the place of our article. It's either a determiner, like in I want to buy that hat, or a pronoun, I want to buy your hat, or a numeral, I want to buy one hat or 11 hats. In these cases, we don't need any articles. It's incorrect to say I want your hat. So you either use the or you use your. You should not say I bought some hats in that shop, which is an unfortunate common mistake. I bought some hats in that shop. Or simply I bought hats in that shop. This is what we should say. The article a can be easily changed for one, because it actually originated from the Old English numeral one. The definite article that its turn can be easily replaced with that, because it originated from the Old English demonstrative pronoun the. On the other hand, you should always keep in mind the idea that the place before a noun can never remain void. It must always be taken by something, either by a numeral or by a pronoun or by a determiner or by an article. Even if this article is the zero article. You won't make mistakes of omitting articles if you think about this way. There should always be something before a noun. And if there is nothing visible before a noun, the omission must be purposeful. If you don't use neither the nor a before your noun, it automatically means that you opt for the zero article, the use of which is also determined by the rules of grammar. As we have already discussed today, it is used, for example, with indefinite uncountable nouns or with indefinite countable nouns in plural. You should pay special attention to singular countable nouns. These can never appear without any articles or other words that take the place of articles. That's why you cannot say I have a laptop. It must be I have a laptop or I have laptops. You cannot say address that you gave me is wrong. It's either the address or that address, but never simply address, because the noun address is a countable common noun in its singular form, which means it demands an article, but whether this article should be definite or indefinite is determined by the context, precisely by your interlocutor's familiarity with the noun you use. In this example with the address, it is clear what address the speaker is talking about. The address that I gave you. Another thing to be stressed is that there are nouns that always go with the definite article the. These are those nouns that denote things or notions that we all are very aware of, those things and notions that are unique and thus definite, at least in our reality. Some of these nouns are the sun, the moon, the ground, the sky, the universe, the truth, and so on. There can be no ambiguity when someone's speaking about the sky, right? We only have one. The same is true for the sun and the moon. As for the truth, though we may say that every person has his or her own truth, we presume that there is the truth, and it's one and only. But there may be thousands of lies. I said that the use of articles as well as their omission has grammatical meaning and follows certain rules. However, there are cases in which the use of articles cannot be accounted for grammatically. These are those cases in which we speak about language traditions. We can see it in many set phrases. For example, we say at night but in the night, in the distance but at a distance, as a result of but under the influence of, to take the trouble but to take care of, to be in danger but to be in a rage, last year but the last item on the list, next time but the next person, and so on. This traditional use of articles is associated with other cases as well. For instance, when we speak about names of countries, traditionally we do not use any articles. There are cases, there are some territories that go with the definite article the. You say Japan, but the Congo or the Sudan, for instance. Thus, when we speak about the use of articles, we divide all the cases into two groups: the grammatical use of articles and the traditional use of articles. Today we have discussed some main points of the grammatical use of articles. We now know that it depends on the character of the noun, whether it is a common or a proper noun, whether it is countable or uncountable, singular or plural, concrete or abstract, finally known to our interlocutor or not. In future videos we'll also talk about traditional uses of articles, which pose some difficulty to English learners because there is a lot of information to memorize. But before we dive deep into that, we'll speak about the definite article, the indefinite article, the zero article, and all the cases in which we use these three. Now let's sum up what we have discussed in today's introductory lesson. The article is a structural word that helps identify the noun. There are three articles in English: the definite article the indefinite article a or an, and the zero article. The definite article the is used only when referring to a particular thing and may be used to refer to one or to many of those things. The indefinite article a or an refers to an object or to a person in a general sense. A singular common noun always requires an article, but a plural common noun does not require any article or can have the to particularize that noun. The indefinite article has two variants, a and an. The article a is used before the words that start with a consonant sound. The article a is used before the words beginning with a vowel sound. Thus we say a bat, a tree, a pencil, but an elephant, an orange, an eye. The intentional omission of the article, also known as the zero article, has significance and is governed by rules. All nouns in English must have articles, and the place of the article before a noun can be taken by a numeral, a determiner, or a pronoun. In this case, an article is no longer needed. And I want to finish with some general tips or recommendations how you can define what article you need. The first tip is, of course, to remember that all nouns in English must have articles. The article can be a or an, the or the zero article. You have to make your informed choice every time you use a noun. When you read something, pay attention to the articles that are used. Don't skip them as some unimportant words. Try to answer the question, why did the author use this article here? If you don't know the answer to this question, it's a good idea to go and check the rules. And finally, when checking a noun in a dictionary, pay attention to whether this noun is countable or uncountable, and which articles are used in the examples. This is all for today. I hope this lesson was useful. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. Subscribe to this channel in order not to miss my new lessons, and see you in the next video.